Oh, do you all recollect when Wendy Williams said potato individual, you realize, like I will plot on you, truth be told. And that is the reason I'm going into season 11. What's more, he's changing Spoilswell, her ex-Kevin tracker, has discovered that the most difficult way possible, since Wendy became so ill and fed up with his BS, and she played him and his boo, Sharina. And she played them hard, and presently they are asking for her leniency. Word on the road is that Wendy Williams' ex-Kevin tracker and his boo thang Sharina Hudson Arbor composed broke. And it's all a direct result of Wendy now. Before you all call Wendy the unpleasant ex, or any such thing, let me make sense of. So Kevin began dating Sharina around 2007. At the point when he was hitched to Wendy, so he was going behind Wendy's back with Sharina. And in the event that that wasn't terrible enough, he was spending Wendy's cash on Sharina, in light of the fact that we as a whole realize that Kevin don't actually have his own cash. He got Serena a house worth $765,000, and it was just 9 miles from the house that he imparted to Wendy. And I read about it in the web journals and tabloids, the location of this spot that he had bought to impart to this boondocks 9 miles from my home in Livingston. And they're enjoying a life of ease and comfort. Chow on the off chance that that ain't foul. At the time, Wendy had some awareness of the undertaking. Yet she decided to remain with Kevin as long as he didn't have children outside their marriage. Listen, I won't ever figure out that in any case insiders guaranteed that the main explanation Kevin didn't leave Wendy was that he realized that him and Sharina required her cash to endure. Well, that didn't keep going extremely lengthy in light of the fact that he got Sharina pregnant and they had a child young lady. This was the straw that broke the camel's back for Wendy, since, in such a case, that there was one thing that she was unable to stand. It was Kevin embarrassing her by having a child on her, so she could choose not to see the cheating. However, she was not able to play stepmother to his adoration kid. So she petitioned for legal separation in April of 2019. The separation procedures sort of affirmed what individuals have been talking about Kevin, which is that he's a gold digger who is solely after Wendy's cash all along. This is on the grounds that he mentioned provision and kid support from Wendy. He was fooled big time for requesting kid support when he and Wendy's child was presently not a minor. He was simply investigating all ways that he might actually accept cash from Wendy. As we can see, the kid support demand was denied by the court for clear reasons, yet he and Wendy came to an understanding that she would pay him a specific measure of cash in provision. We don't have the foggiest idea the amount it is precisely yet. It must be a sizable measure of cash in light of the fact that Kevin doesn't actually work any longer, and that is the way he's ready to deal with his new family and assist his boo Serena with starting a few organizations. Now Kevin and Serena were all fine when Wendy and Kevin got separated on the grounds that you realize they actually had Wendy's cash coming in to carry on with an agreeable life. Yet now that Wendy's cash quit coming in light of the fact that her show got dropped, both Kevin and Serena are overreacting on the grounds that what else would they truly do other than rope off of Wendy's cash. However, you see, whenever Wendy first played him was the point at which she served him legal documents. Kevin said when the news was out, I told her I would step down from the show. And Wendy, he let me know I expected to remain on the grounds that I was having a youngster. I remained exclusively to later be arranged. I got terminated from the executives, served legal documents, and furthermore terminated from the show all around the same time. You know, whether you make, I don't suggest that you work with your significant other on the grounds that I made him my chief, and afterward, when I chose to separate from him, he must be terminated. Another, I made him separated and jobless across the board day. Wendy is negligible AF, and I'm hanging around for it in any case. In a recent meeting, Kevin said, as the spouse of 20 or more years, and the maker of the Wendy Williams show, I was qualified for my half of all that we had, very much like some other couple. Separating from, I went to the table sincerely And we arrived at my thought process was a genial separation, as a matter of fact. It was one of the quickest superstar separates ever. I had an inclination that Wendy's Wells Fargo consultant was looking for trouble, yet I was prompted by my lawyers that all was great well. He ought to have paid attention to his instincts since, incidentally, Wendy played him for sure, and he never saw it coming. He was presumably in such a rush to consent to the arrangement and begin getting cash that he likely neglected to peruse the fine print in the understanding that expressed that Wendy didn't need to pay him on the off chance that she was done working. And as we probably are aware, Wendy has not been working for over a year now. She was missing during the whole last time of the Wendy Williams show, since he was battling with a ton of physical and mental disorder. This she had confusions from grave sickness, had desired needed to go to a mental center for her psychological well-being. It was a ton her show was in the end dropped following quite a while of consideration and hypothesis. And this means Wendy no longer has a type of revenue from the show. She has not been on some other show since, and hasn't had some other type of revenue. So her monetary individuals halted the installments to Kevin B. And Kevin was really furious and entitled, saying Wendy was in recovery.